Is your car proudly made in South Africa? There's a wealth of car-building expertise in our republic, with plants manufacturing marques like Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, VW, Mahindra, and more. Global car brands have long had positive associations with South Africa, and while there are 9 brands that currently build vehicles in the country, a handful have been manufacturing cars here since the 1950s and 60s. Take a look at the list below to see if your pride and joy was proudly built in SA. Ford Ranger, built in Silverton. Ford has one of the longest manufacturing histories in South Africa, with its Struendale engine plant in Gqeberha, opening for business all the way back in 1964, when the road sign still said Port Elizabeth. Ford SA maintains 2 local plants, the other being in Silverton outside Pretoria. The rugged Ford Ranger is one of the most popular vehicles in our market, and it's built in Silverton, with units also exported all over Africa. The Blue Oval brand recently invested over R2 billion into the plant and is working closely with the South African government to build a giant industrial development zone, with their plant right at the center. Mercedes-Benz C-Class, built in Gqeberha. With its roots in PE stretching back to 1958, Mercedes-Benz South Africa celebrated the production of their 1 millionth vehicle back in 2015. The luxury marque's popular C-Class sedan is currently built in the facility, both for the local market and for export all over the world. The flagship S-Class also used to be built in South Africa, with workers creating the famous once-off Mandela S-Class, which was gifted to Nelson Mandela in 1995 after his election to the presidency. Mahindra Pik-Up, built in Durban. While Mahindra is a relative newcomer to the South African manufacturing scene, the brand is no stranger to making cars. It's been producing motor vehicles in its native India since 1945, and is renowned for robust and reliable vehicles. With a state-of-the-art vehicle assembly facility in the Dube Tradeport Special Economic Zone producing around 4,000 pickups per year, the company also sources 40% of its components locally, which has the very uplifting effect of creating jobs all the way down the supply chain. Isuzu KB, soon to be D-Max. Built in Gqeberha, Isuzu has a storied history in South Africa, with the legendary KB bakkie, soon to be rebranded as the D-Max, being a perennial favorite, selling over 1,000 units monthly. Before the pandemic, Isuzu invested heavily in its PE plant to start local production of the new generation D-Max bakkie, set to begin in 2022, enhancing its reputation as a world-class pickup for local and international markets. Nissan NP200, MP300, and Navara. Built in Rosslyn, Tshwane has been Nissan's home since the 60s, producing millions of vehicles and creating countless jobs. Models like the MP200 light pickup, MP300 one-tonner, and the advanced new Navara bakkie are proudly manufactured here. Fun fact, Nissan, through licensing agreements, even produced cars for brands like Peugeot, Fiat, and Alfa Romeo, including the classic Fiat Uno hatchback, Toyota Corolla, Corolla Cross, Hilux, and Fortuner. All built in Prospecton. Toyota's Prospecton factory in KwaZulu-Natal is one of the busiest plants on the continent. Recently receiving a R2 billion modernization investment, it's gearing up for the future. Toyota has exciting plans, including local production of hybrid Corolla sedans and Corolla Cross models, marking the first time hybrids will be built on the African continent. The top-selling Hilux and Fortuner models are also proudly produced in Durban. Volkswagen Polo and Polo Vivo, built in Kariega. Volkswagen has been making cars in South Africa for an incredible 70 years, with its plant in Kariega, formerly Wittenhagen, being the longest running in the country. The plant currently produces the popular Polo for both local and export markets, as well as the Polo Vivo. Hyundai EX8, built in Benoni, South Korean giant. Hyundai established a plant on Gauteng's East Rand, assembling the EX8 commercial truck for our local market and export to regional neighbors. Hyundai invested over R100 million in setting up the Benoni plant, creating hundreds of jobs. BMW X3. Built in Roslin, South Africa and BMW's German mothership have a long-standing partnership. The Roslin plant in Tshwane has been pivotal in producing many of BMW's finest cars, including the SA-only 333i. Today, it builds the popular X3 SUV. So, whether you drive a Ford Ranger, a Mercedes-Benz C-Class, or any of these fantastic vehicles, you can take pride in knowing that some of the world's most renowned car brands are proudly manufacturing their cars right here in South Africa. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know if your car made the list. Thanks for joining us on this journey through South Africa's automotive heritage. Until next time, drive safe.